Where's your intro? All right, Keith. Keith was reminded of an actual hypnosis experience he had in college. It is now time to recount that, to strip away the myth about hypnosis, and to the positive side of it. His speech will be 8 to 10 minutes, and the title is "You Are Not Asleep." Please welcome.
Good morning, Toastmasters. Eyes are getting heavy. You are feeling sleepy.
Already there.
Like and subscribe to Mongoose Max Hawaii. I want to tell you a little bit about how I got into hypnosis. Well, self-hypnosis. A little bit of dispelling the myths of hypnosis, and maybe how you can do it yourself. How's that? Do-it-yourself hypnosis. We'll do what they call the induction. Well, I'll tell you how to do it. I'm not going to try to hypnotize you. No. That is not the case. But first, I must confess. I have a confession to make. Right out of high school, I graduated and went to this university, USC, and I only made it a couple semesters before my academic prowess started to wane. And as it was petering out, I was going through campus with my bike and all that, and I saw one of those typical posters that they staple up on the boards and all that, and it said, "Study while you sleep." You're speaking my language. So I went to this session hoping to pop up on my grades and all that. Apparently, here's the goal of this little session. It was a free session that they offer in the university. The goal was, in your sleep, you could assign pages that you memorized by sight to your fingers and thumbs. And so while you're sleeping, it's like, you're looking at this page, you're looking at that page. Then that would be the goal of this session. But when I get there, they tell me, we're going to learn how to do self-hypnosis. Okay. So how do you self-hypnotize yourself? You know what I mean? It's like, I'm looking in the mirror. I don't know what I'm going to do. So they dispelled the myths about hypnosis. And right off the bat, I want to tell you, you cannot make anybody do something they wouldn't do normally. So you felt safe. Say, okay, you can't hypnotize you, rob the bank, give me the money.
Right.
None of that. It cannot be done. And 2, sleep and hypnosis are different. Hypnosis is the hypnagogic state. It's like right before falling asleep. It's like this little area in between where your consciousness is about to fade and the subconsciousness is about to play. What do we got, 10% consciousness and 90% subconscious or something? I don't know, Carl Jung had this all down. But imagine you're walking around 90% subconscious. He used to say unconscious, Carl Jung and Freud. I'm like, unconscious? Hey, when you're sleeping, are you unconscious? No, that's like when you're knocked out, you're unconscious. When you're sleeping, it's subconscious. It starts to rise. And only 10% is consciousness. So you're walking around, there's only 10%. It's like you're aware of what's going on. But sleep is different than hypnosis. But what is hypnosis? Basically, a deep state of relaxation. That's what it is. Very deep state of relaxation. So in this very deep state of relaxation, you can be sitting comfortably like Ian is right here. And you can say, oh, let's put you into hypnosis. Watch the mallet. We're going to make you unconscious. And a person can sit in a relaxed state and actually be spoken to. And so one of the things that really amazed me, and I thought, well, okay, so they count down and be very relaxed. And one of the things they said, well, when you're under hypnosis, your eyelids will kind of flutter, and you won't really be able to open your eyelids. And open your eyelids, you can't really open your eyes, but your eyelids kind of flutter. That's a key. But the class went under self-hypnosis, counting down and all that stuff, sitting in the chairs. They said, what we're going to do is this. You're going to go to sleep for 5 minutes. Hypnosis, 5 minutes. And you're going to be very refreshed when you wake up. And at 5 minutes, just come right back up. They're not going to tell you when 5 minutes is up. You just awaken. So whenever you awaken. So that was the key. It was like it's a little charge of energy. Just like 9 hours of sleep, you're charged within 5 minutes. But I, was sitting in the chair. How do I tell? Okay, when you think 5 minutes is up, wake up. So after 5 minutes, I look. I just basically opened my eyes and I looked, and it was 5 minutes to the second. I was like, whoa, whoa. Your body has alarming precision with biological clock and also with memory. You see a bunch of stuff, you hear a bunch of things, and at the end of the day, I hate that phrase now, but at the end of the day, you don't need all that stuff, and it just kind of goes by the wayside. But from a hypnotic state, you can recall quite a lot of detail. And they started to use this in forensics, right? We're like, oh, remember the license plate? Let me see. But there's a small problem with that. Implants of false memories. Because when you're under hypnosis, you are also highly suggestible. Mm-hmm. So I can't tell you what to do, but I can say, when you wake up, you'll feel very refreshed. Mm. If you want to smoke cigarettes, you'll have a great time if you eat carrots instead. It's a harmless suggestion that's positive, that's received. And so is false memories. So you saw a little birdie on top of the aquarium, and he's like, I swear there was a bird in the aquarium. So they can't use it in forensics. So that is true. But there is high recollection. But it used to have this myth of being this powerful, scary thing because hypnosis has been around since ages past. There was like ancient mysticism from the Eastern monks and mystics. They didn't know what this force was. And they started to want to understand it with the Enlightenment and all this, and it was something that they were using for cures. And then when they started to do that, psychology starts to come into the play. So now, if you look up hypnosis, you're going to be looking at a bunch of psychology. It's like, oh my God. But to sum it up, it's not animal magnetism, which they thought it was, some special force, some thing that come up. It's just basically what people try to do when they get to a meditative state. When you kind of meditate, you go from the alpha state to the beta state, that relaxed state. However you get there, that's basically almost the same thing as meditation. And what happens if you get hypnotized and you're just left there? Oh my God, what's going to happen? Don't worry, you just fall into sleep. So you just basically fall into the sleep state and you wake up. So there's really no scary thing about hypnosis. It can be used in a lot of powerful ways. But what always boggles my mind was stage magicians with their, you will talk like a chicken, you will walk like a duck. This kind of stuff. I'm like, how is he doing that? What's wrong with this picture, right? So the answer is, some people are highly suggestible, some not. So it's depending if you're trusting and you're listening. And half of that stuff on stage is trickery. Half of it's trickery. And so, yeah, and some of that is admitted. So the actual hypnosis can be quite a useful tool, not so much in forensics and this sort of thing. I never got to the I will study in my sleep phase. But if you're an athlete and you want to visualize the high jump or the pole vault, you can kind of use self-hypnosis and visualize that perfect pole vault. And that does work. The susceptible suggestion can be a positive thing, which can help behavior. So for self-improvement, yes, it can work. Think of affirmations. I will feel wonderful today. This kind of stuff, it does apply and it does work that way. When you think of I will take over your mind, there was a hysteria. You know those circles that spin, those spirally spin things? People were very actually afraid. But no, it's not like that. And so for real quick, I don't know, I think I'm over time. I will go like this. I will sum up what they call the induction, which is putting someone in hypnosis. Now, when you try to do it for yourself, you might record and listen to your own voice. But basically, you have somebody and you're listening to their voice and someone you trust. You can't harm anybody, right? So it's like you talk the person into a comfortable position and into a relaxation. So you're kind of doing the breathe in, breathe out. And if there's tension in your feet, usually work up. Tension in your feet, breathe in, breathe out. Tension goes away. Breathe in, breathe out with the legs, with the arms, and the head, and the and then you're in. And then you can start with visualization. You're in a boat, and you're slowly lying down. And you're finally floating down the river, and you get them into a deep state of relaxation. And then and waking up, it's almost like 3, 2, 1. Wake up already. It's not that much. But in that state of 5 minutes, you can refresh yourself with about hours worth of sleep and feel good about it. There's some interesting things. And that's a little recap with hypnosis. Thank you. Right? Questions? Dr. Ken, you wanted questions? Or anybody questions? Any quickie questions?
What time is it?
It's a couple minutes. Yeah.
Just the word gave me an idea. Hypnosis.
Yeah.
How does that become changing your thinking?
Thinking?
Yeah. I mean, I'm talking about the root.
The root of the word? The root is hypno, is Greek. It means to put to sleep. Hopefully I'm not putting you to sleep. But not in the boring way, but as when someone's falling asleep, to put to sleep. It's a Greek word, and that's where hypnosis comes from, the word. But your thinking is still all there intact. Matter of fact, your whole subconscious is where it's at, because we're not really conscious of our subconscious. But if you start to, in a deep relaxed state, you start to talk to it, things start to happen again.
So the subconscious, is it linked to your higher self? Which why I'm asking is because when I hypnotize and get past life regression, it's your past lives are usually tied to your spirit or your soul. And is that your subconscious, or is that how do you get the past lives into this life, since I've only had this life in this avatar? No. I mean, it's possible, and that's why I've gotten.
Regression with hypnosis is a thing. It's like that Carl Jung stuff with that collective unconscious. My unconscious or subconscious is connected to everybody else's subconscious in a giant universal swimming pool ocean of subconscious, the collective unconscious. Now, is the soul there? Is there a connection there? That's more kind of a belief system. If you go hypnosis and you're recalling past lives, that's It's much like the forensic application of hypnosis. You can't say it for a fact, because you might have like wishful thinking. Because do you ever notice on past lives, they're not recalling I was a peasant dung dealer. They're all like princes and princesses and wonderful things. So, but the visualization of your higher self, your better you, be the all that you can be something that you can place there and work towards, like a self-improvement bit. It does have a powerful effect. It's really interesting. I think maybe we should can it right here. It's going to go long.
Thanks, Keith. Very interesting. If you haven't already started, let's take 2 minutes to evaluate Keith's speech.